Hi, it's me, Jordan Long here, and I haven't done a YouTube live stream in some time. Well, I haven't done one in some time. It's been a while since I've done one. I haven't been in the mood. There really hasn't been time. I mean, there's always been time, but you got to put time aside to do YouTube live streams. And always got to have the fear that if you do a YouTube live stream, somehow, some way, it's going to be said, oh, you're not following YouTube followership oversight or YouTube Webstead oversight, which I don't understand why that one live stream I did way back last year got me in that. But thank God it was a warning, and all my good standing is still around. So whoever thought that they could get me in bad standing with YouTube over that, well, looks like it didn't happen. And I know that some folks, when they do a YouTube live stream, they'll say, oh, it's a podcast. Well, it is. Keep in mind, a YouTube live stream or Google Meet, which was formerly Google Hangout, was made on the forgive me, on the liking of podcasts. Folks that you know went and did it when podcasts were big and are still a big thing. And the answer to that was Google Hangout, which is now Google Meet, and then YouTube live stream. Now, I know for folks who are on Twitch, it's no big deal because everything's a live stream on Twitch. But for us on YouTube, it is a big deal. And I can do a live stream anytime I want to when I'm in the mood to do it. And I don't have to be having to give a fee or to yield a fee to YouTube to do it. Unlike those folks on Twitch where they're like, oh, well, I sure hope I have to give my $35 this month for my gift to make, two span film uploads and to also do my live streams, you know. And you can see that I'm not a big Twitch follower. I'm not into it. First off, Twitch, it's not free. You got to buy it each month and you got to set up your buying deals. Like, it would be like being on YouTube and then saying, well, it's not free anymore. You're going to have to buy your uploads and your live stream deals. And I'm sure there are some folks out there who are frightened that that's going to happen one day. You always hear someone saying, oh, well, they're going to do that one day. Yeah, well, and everybody keeps saying, oh, Twitch is bigger than YouTube. Well, I don't really think so. I think Amazon bought Twitch to fight YouTube since Google bought YouTube. So Amazon said, oh, no big deal, Google. You bought YouTube back in 2006 YL. We're going to buy Twitch, motherfuckers. And we're not going to make it free. And then you have TikTok, which is a smaller offshoot of Twitch in some way, but sadly it only runs off the wireless Y speaker, and that's not free either. And you got to get upload deals and live stream deals and all shit like that. So you'll never see me on TikTok. You'll never see me on Twitch. you know. What are you asking me? Your rotone is for. I don't understand what you mean, Ashley Smith. Can you rebut the term? The meaning of I don't know. I don't know. It's some borrowed word, and I don't understand it. Some French or some Latin borrowed word, and I don't understand it. Someone named Ashley Smith wrote something down. I don't understand it. I can't read the full thing. I read like half of it. But, oh, hi. Thank you. Oh, I can't do anything about it. That's sad. But I don't know. Yeah, can't be helped. My reading skills are shitty. Why am I saying that for? I got good reading skills, but they're not flawless. And most of the words that I don't know how to say or say badly always seem to be borrowed words, either French or Latin borrowed words. That's why I choose to speak English with mostly or all Pulilic words. You know, since English is a Pulilic speech, and a lot of folks don't believe that. There are some folks out there who think English can't be Pulilic since it took borrowed words from other speeches and it's only 100% of what it once was, or was that 2,500 of what it once was? Well, that 2,500 of Pulilic English words, is what English is. And I don't want to go through and give a whole learning about the English speech and everything, but whoever wrote that down isn't going to help me, so it is what it is. So yeah. Yeah, well, the word England is an English word. Land of the Anglo-Saxons. Land of the fish folk. Yeah. For the Angos, the Saxons, and the Jukes, those Pulilic folk who left Evelyn and came to England before it became England. Long before the Danes came along, they were also Pulilic folk too. But anyway, it is what it is. But I'm gonna f that word up, and it's like, oh, do you want a thesaurus? Oh, do you want that Latin borrowed word, that French borrowed word, mini book word? Well, that book's not going to help me because it's going to be a borrowed word for a borrowed word. You know? What swordfish girls? Well, yeah, because the Angos, the Saxons, and the Jukes came from, I don't know, chunks of Germany, chunks of Norway, chunks of Denmark, and the Netherlands, and Sweden, and Switzerland, and the Netherlands, and Austria, and what if we want to say Luxembourg, around those folks. So yeah, they were by the shore. So I guess they would be called the fish folk. But, but once they came to England and they lost their sea legs. Oh, God, I'm clearing my throat. But anyway, I don't know what that word means. But anyway, I guess I'm going to have to shift on the light now. It's starting to get dark now. So anyway, before Ashley Smith came on, or if I'm even reading that right, before Ashley Smith came on, I was talking about, TikTok and Twitch, and them having, it's not free. You gotta buy. You have to gild it. You have to yield it and buy into it and buy your upload and your live stream deals and stuff. And about how I'm never going to be on any of those websites because it's not free. And first off, TikTok handicaps itself since it only runs off the wireless far speaker, the wireless wise far speakers, I should say. And it handicaps itself, and you got to buy into it. And same thing, Twitch handicaps itself, and you got to buy into it. It's like, look, I can live stream. Well, good for you. I can live stream on YouTube, and I didn't have to buy into it. What you mean, swordfish girls? That comes off like a name for a songster team, a song band. called the Swordfish Girls. That's what it comes out like. It said the Swordfish Girls was a saga or a tale of folk who came from the sun, and then they came to the beaches to help the two men who cast them, who had been to help two men that were casted away. Well, I never heard of that saga until. Knowing me, I never heard of that saga or that tale. And you're being like, so I cleared my throat. You'd be like, oh, well, Jordan, you're far eastern. You're eastern. You're far eastern. Yeah, and I don't live up to everything folks believe. English is my only speech. I don't know any other speeches. When it comes to eating tools, I'm not good at the chopsticks. You know? So anyway, yeah. Thank you for liking my films, and sad I cleared my throat many times. There we go again. And I know someone out there is going to think, Jordan, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't got COVID-9 between or COVID-20 or any other offshoots. And and let's talk about Twitter while we're at it. I mean, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but you can't say that on Twitter. If I would make a film and I would say anything about COVID-9 between on Twitter, I'd be locked. And if there's anyone at YouTube who happens to watch these YouTube live streams, which I don't think they do, because someone still has to send it to them, and they still got to look at it, and they still got to make their guess of what they think. So, well, I don't know how to say that word, Ashley Smith. Forgive me. I don't know how to say that word. I don't know how to say that French or Latin borrowed word. You know, I guess that's a hang up if you speak English. I know a lot of folks, but I don't know what it means. So, but let me tell you a saga or a tale that happened to me. This happened last year, so it's give or take, it'd be March or April of last year. I was making a film, and I had a lot of folks on my film. And keep in mind, it was all dolls, all of us, all dolls, nothing that was owned by anyone else. But then YouTube goes, oh, that's not following YouTube followership oversight. We're going to have to end your YouTube live stream. And I know there's folks out there saying, oh, they got a tool that runs everything. Yeah, well, they still run the webstead, even if they're running it from their homes. They still run their websteads that way. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. If I seek to even say words like that, I'm going to come off like a dummy, like someone that's not woman-like at all. Yeah. Now you see why folks can't. Now you see why I can't learn others. Now you see why folks. Now you see why you can't. Why I can't learn another speech, and why I'm not. Yeah. This is why I don't even say borrowed words. They don't belong to English. They're hard to say. They don't belong to English. And you can actually live without them. Well, why don't you just say take down or throw away? You know, those are all English words. We don't have to say, we don't got to say some French or Latin borrowed word to make ourselves feel like we're more wise than we already are. You know? Yeah, we really don't have to say these borrowed words anymore. There we go, clearing my throat again. And someone else out there is going to say, did you go it, Jordan? Did you sit down and say, I'm going to start choking or coughing? I'm going to start having things go down my throat? No, I didn't. I didn't do that. You know, I don't I don't write out what I'm going to do in my films. You know? Yeah. Well, that's what someone told me, what that word meant, to take off or to throw away. You know? Ugh. So, yeah. I know if I was more name known, and I know if well, take that back. You know, everyone likes to say, "Oh well, see, when I come on YouTube, it was never my goal to be made. I never want to have. I just wanted to be a non-YouTube follower. Well, I guess YouTube worker, someone who works on not no one who comes on and makes films. That YouTube worker, not someone who runs the webstead. Forgive me. Um, never wanted to be a YouTube mate or anything like that. Now, some folks, that's what they'll shoot for. But at the end of the day, I don't want that. Way too many oversights to follow. You know, first you're following the YouTube webstead oversight. You're following the YouTube followership oversight. Then you got ownership law, which you have to follow. Well, keep in mind everything I do is mine, and who's going to come around and say this is their room and their doll? It's going to be their word, fight my word. But then if you become a YouTube mate, then you have to follow YouTube mateship oversight, YouTube business-wise oversight, then a Google AdSense oversight. And if you got any deals with any businesses, then you got to follow their oversight. So why the fuck would I want to do all of that? Then the income you're going to get is going to be tollable. And since YouTube, well, unless they shift the oversight where they take out for folks, but since YouTube mates don't work for YouTube, they're not taking out for their toll, they got to do it themselves. So why the fuck would I want to put that on my head too and be answerable for land, right, earldom, and near toll? Why do all that shit? And then always happen to be frightened. Oh, I hope I'm in good standing with my Google AdSense. Oh, I hope I'm in good standing with my YouTube mateship oversight. I hope I'm in good standing with my YouTube business-wise oversight. I hope I'm in good standing with YouTube followership oversight and YouTube YouTube webstead oversight. Oh, I sure hope I'm in good standing with those businesses I got to deal with. Oh, I sure hope I'm putting enough away that I got to yield from my land, right, earldom, and near income toll. Oh, yeah, why do all that shit? I'm just happy to be where I'm at. You know, I just got 3 things I got to follow. Webstead oversight, followership oversight, ownership law. And I'm so good at following ownership law that at the end of the day, no one's ever going to say anything that I do in these films belongs to anyone else. You know, there's no songs in my films. There's no films in my films. No film games. There's no plays. Nothing. There's nothing in there that someone could say it's my shit. And don't get me started on fair work, because a doll's made for anyone to work with, you know? And as long as I don't go out there and claim, and as long as I don't go out there, and as long as I don't go out there and get as long as I'm not doing some kind of farcier show or a film or a play where I'm going to put this in there and someone wants to have some kind of deal off of it, which, with be earnest, no one does. So at the end of the day, I'm in good standing. Yeah. But then you never really could be a YouTube mate anyway. To be earnest with it, it was always too hard. First, you had to have this number of followers. You had to have this, and you had to have this reckoning of watch time. You had to be in good standing with everything, blah, blah, blah. And these, if you met all those things, they could still say, no, and then tell you come back again. Or if you kept on bitching at them, they'd put you in. Or if you went in again and they put you in, you could lose it. Because they're always shifting the YouTube mateship oversight. Yeah, they shift that oversight so many times, it's not even funny. I mean, they might shift the YouTube Webstead oversight every once in a while, but the YouTube mateship oversight's being shifted all the fucking time. I am not kidding. You talk to anyone on YouTube who's a YouTube mate, big or small, and they'll tell you the YouTube mateship oversight is being shifted all the time. And they're either losing their mateship because no longer they meet all of the mateship oversight, or they're losing it because at one time what was all right is no longer all right because they keep shifting the oversight. So yeah. And why do I want to be one of those folks that goes on there and then bitches about, oh, you shifted the oversight on me. Oh, you're taking away my income. Because someone says it's their film. When I'm doing fair work, I want to go for all that shit. No, I don't. So I'm just happy to be where I'm at. So right now I got 1 follower, 2 thumbs up. I had more followers, but as we know, there's a YouTube mistake that's been going on in YouTube probably as long as the YouTube live stream's been around. Where they make you think you're losing followers. Maybe someone had to go to work, someone had to go to learn, someone had to go to sleep. So that's understandable. Now, the haters out there would have you believe that, oh, you're losing them because you're boring. Well, that's a belief. That's a thought. There's no truth to it. You can't show that to be true. And that was one thing. Oh, right. Now I know if Natalie Tang or Tong, I can't Tang, or how do you say her kid name, would make a live stream, which she never did, but we'd just say she would. There would be so many folks on it, it wouldn't be funny. So, sad for clearing my throat. And there might be someone out there, I'm just going to go and say what I said before. Someone out there thinking, oh, Jordan, did you set this up and you started clearing your throat? No, that happened. I had no run or lead over it. So let's see all these things we got to say here. Ashley Smith talks about these swordfish girls. Then she also goes on to say it's to make something go away. And he said, actually, no, throw away my YouTube their way. Well, the thing is, I know there's something else someone usually would, thank you for loving my films. So there's something else that someone might ask me. How come I don't pick someone to oversee my shout out box? Because they don't know you. They don't know you, so they don't know what you like and what you don't like. They don't know what to look for. And they don't know who to lock and who not to lock. So you could set someone up to be an overseer of your shout-out box, hoping you have trust with them, and they're going to go around and start locking folks, believing, oh, well, Jordan doesn't like, oh, well, I don't like when folks write big runes. But Jordan likes that. And then they start locking someone who's writing like that when I'm all right with it. Or they go, so I don't do that because I know what to look for and I know what to lock and what to hush and what not to lock and hush, So that's why I don't do that if someone's going to ask me. And someone say, oh, what's your thoughts about over chat or over talk? Oh, no big deal. It's nothing outstanding. Yeah, You can't send gal through my YouTube live stream like you can with some mates out there. But then, oh well. So yeah, no big deal. So, all right, what else did I want to say? Oh, why am I? Yeah, I'm just going to ask this. No one's going to ask me these things anyway. It would be like coming, So, anyone want to ask me anything? But here we go. Someone might say, Jordan, why are you on YouTube for? Why have you been doing this for 7, soon to be 8 years? Well, all right. I actually been doing this since 2012, since 2010 YL. But I had many YouTube fairways before that. Miss Jordan Long, Jordan Mulan Long, Jordan Channel 20. And the Jordan Long channel is just, the Jordan Long one is just the longest one I've had. And it was Natalie Tang or however you say her kin name, when she was doing the community channel or the followership fairway. And I said, I can do that too. And everyone you see on my YouTube fairway is everyone that I did what they did. All right, I might not get the watch time or the looking or the followers they get, but I just do what they do. And believe it or not, I actually make more films. I have actually made more films than on YouTube than Natalie Tang or Tang or however you say her kin name did. I mean, she did come back last year, made a Yule Gathering film, and that was it. And then she goes, well, I haven't been on since COVID. No, the truth was she hadn't been on since 27 between YL. That was at least 1, 2, 3, close to 3 years that she wasn't on YouTube. And she makes one film, and now folks say, oh, she's doing film games now, whatever. Good for her. But I made more films than she did. It said, no, I'm a doll. I'm not a puppet. That what? French borrowed word. Yeah. But thank you anyway. So where are we? You're like, am I going to have any other folks be on my YouTube? I don't even know who Eric E is. I don't really know who Eric E is or what he does, so I can't really answer that asking for you. I don't. I'm not as iffened as some folks would think, and I don't know everyone, so I don't know who this Eric E is. I don't know what he does. Unless he does, I don't know. Oh, you mean Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. Sailor Earth. My god brother. Well, I don't know. I could bring him on if I wanted to. I could bring him on if I wanted to, but before I do that, let's talk about, how Hasbro chose to not renew their deal with Netflix and take a shit ton of the Power Rangers off. I mean, it's sad. I mean, the only way you could see it now is if you bought the disc boxes, which are worth a lot, or you happen to go on some webstead somewhere where it's not lawful just to see it if you don't want to put all that gal just to buy the box set. I mean, I don't understand that. Why they did that, I'm not them. It's not like I mean, all right. So it's not like, I mean, that it's not like they I don't really think they worked that hard to keep them. I mean, Hasbro's like, oh, well, we got to take them all off. And if folks want them, they can buy the box set, the box sets. There's about 3 of them. Because it spans about 28 followings. So you're going everything from Mighty Morphin to Beef Morphers, from Siobhan to Disney, Siobhan to Hasbro. And so the only way you can see them is either you bought the box sets, or if you couldn't afford to get all the box sets, go in some webstead somewhere that you know it's unlawful because they didn't get a streaming deal for any of this stuff just to see it. You know? So it's truly sad about, it's truly sad about what happened. But it is what it is. And, well, SailorMoonTV.com went down, sadly. They've been on the interweb since 2012 YL. Toby finally caught up to them. You know what they were doing. They were taking all the Sailor Moon things. They had no string deals to any of this stuff. Not the Deke, not the Cloverway, not the Pioneer, not the Viz. They didn't have no deals to PGSM or any of the song shows. And Toei Prey caught up to them one day and said, you don't own any of this stuff. Take it down now, or you're going to be in a lawful bind. And we all know those folks over in the settled Canada or the settled land were not going to lawyer up because they knew if they did, they were going to lose. You know? So SailorMoonTV.com went down. So there you go. So the only way that someone could see you, it's like you're handicapped, because if you want to see the Deke or the Cloverway, you can't. It's like if you want to see the Viz stuff, it's like, well, you could still see it because Hulu still has a deal for all the Viz the rework of Sailor Moon. And Viz still runs it through their webstead too, but that's about it. Unless and Amazon, but let's be earnest about Amazon. It's like some stuff you can watch fully, some stuff you got to buy a following, so it's not even worth saying and the Amazon has a deal either. Not really that good. So before I bring anyone else on, anyone who's a WWE follower should know by now that WWE and Comcast worked out a deal to get WWE Folkwork on Peacock, one of Comcast's NBC Universal offshoot streaming business, or whatever you want to call it. That won't happen until March 8th between, so anyone who hasn't gone to Peacock to set up everything to get the W Folkwork will have to do that soon. Anyone who lives outside the Wanted Reichs, the United States, or the Wanted Reichs, the W Folkwork is going to run the way it's always run. But some folks aren't going to be lucky, and they're never going to get it for $10.99 or $4.99, $4.99. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah. So I'm going on. There I go again, clearing my throat again. And someone out there probably thinks, oh no, you got COVID. You got COVID 9 between or COVID 20. Yeah, well, this whole COVID illness that Lucifer's made, God is going to beat it. Yeah, God and Jesus are going to beat it. All right? And let you know the whole oversight about wearing some kind of layer hide when you go out is now handicappable by being put in lockup. So if there's anyone out there who doesn't want to wear their layer wear or layer hide when they're out around others, and some land, Reich, earldom, or near lawkeeper happens to be around, they can be locked up for that. So they gotta know how earnest this oversight was. Because when they first came out with the oversight, a lot of folks were just, saying, oh, well, it's not a law. I'm not going to be put in lockup for it. And at first, it was just the Reichs that were, and the earldoms and the Nears that were seeking to make it a law. But really, they couldn't do that because that was out of their hands, giving that it was a land law moat that had come up with the oversight. So the land law moat came up with it, making it a handicapable, making it where you could be put in lockup for it. So anyway, it is what it is. Or maybe the first time you get a warning about it, and if you keep it up, then you get put in lockup. But it's now a sin. So most likely, yeah. And there's going to be someone out there, thinking out there, about that. Yeah, and if you think that, then since it's a land law, the Reich, earldom, and Near have to uphold that law. So, which say you think that, oh well, yeah, there are going to be some folks out there who think, oh, who cares? I'm not going to wear my layer wear or my hide when I'm out. Oh, I don't see no land law keepers around. Well, you don't have to fear about that, because any Reich, earldom, or Near law keeper can take you in too for not following that oversight. The CDC, they came up with the oversight, and the forest setter, Joseph Barron, if I'm saying his kin name right, he made that, I guess you call it a forest setter oversight, which is more of a policy, a French borrowed word, more of an oversight, but not actually a law, because laws are harder to be overthrown, where oversight can be ended once it came up to it. but anyway, it is what it is, So just had to get that out there. And I know there's going to be someone who's thinking, well, Jordan, you seem to be iffing. Yeah, I'm iffing, but doesn't mean I know everything. Well, sad for that yawn that came out, I didn't mean to yawn, but sad for it coming out. Yeah, well, I miss Sailor Moon too. Oh. Shut up, Gabrielle. No, I do not watch AEW. I don't watch IW or NWA or MLW or OVW or any of those other ones out there. All I watch is WWE. But if that makes me a not true wrestling follower, oh well. Hey, Jordan, it's good to see you. Jade, what are you doing? Well, you're doing a YouTube live stream and you didn't ask me to come on. Well, Jade, I didn't, Well, Jordan, you didn't ask me to come on, did you? No, I didn't know I was making a YouTube live stream until about 4. I heard you were gagging and most of all your films in this film, and I was. But it is what it is. In case you don't know, That's Jade, my younger sister right there. You know? Yeah, hi, I'm Jade. And I just want to say that, I don't know what to say. Well, so you still a bloodsucker hunter? A bloodsucker hunter? Yeah, I still am. I still do that. You still being a show player? Yeah, I'm still being a show player. I didn't give that up. I had to get my Crovid seek. Then it came back, I didn't have Crovid. Yeah, someone says, oh, I hope you blew all the boogers out of your nose first. If we're going to jam something up your nose now, and we're going to track the fifth between. Yeah. And, I guess take my body heat, but the heat gun wasn't good enough, so they jammed that up my nose. You know? Well, I guess it is what it is. But Jade said, I'm glad you don't have it. Well, I'm glad you don't have it either. I mean, it's bad. And if you're one of the lucky ones and God lets you live through the illness that Lucifer gives you, and one of the unlucky ones that don't live through it, and they're like, oh, this illness has killed more folks than any kind of war and other stuff. And they still don't know how so many folks get it. No, I guess they don't. And they still don't know where it comes from either. Some folks think that Lucifer made it start somewhere in the east, but they're not even sure where. Well, I don't know either. To be honest with you, I don't. So you frightened that this YouTube live stream is going to get taken down for not following YouTube followership oversight? No, why would I be that? I think that was a one-off. I truly believe, Jay, at the end of the day, that was a runoff. A one-time only thing. A mistake by someone at YouTube who, for whatever grounds, and I still to this day don't know what made it happen. Either it was something I said in the film, something someone wrote in my shout-out box, and I, by mistake, read it with not knowing that I was reading something that was wrong. So, your guess is good as mine. But it hasn't happened since then. Yeah, well, thank God it was only a warning if it was. And you still have all your good standing. Yeah, I still have all of that, which is a good thing. I don't know. Well, that's what I talk about here, Jade says. There's not really that much to do. Oh, Jordan, what are you doing? My fingers kind of touched your fingers by mistake. Oh, well, you're both made out of glass. All right. Yeah, I know that. And I guess anyone who makes dolls like this, it's a dying craft because there are only very few folks in this world that have the skill and craft to make dolls like this. Yeah. Jade said, what do you think? Well, Jordan, what do you think about those doll healing houses or sick houses where someone who, they have a business where they go around. Well, they don't go around, but they got a business where folks send them dolls that have been broken, and these folks they run a business and they heal these dolls up. They don't care what kind of doll it is. They have the skill to heal them, and most folks can't afford that. So when the doll breaks, it gets either thrown away. So we couldn't afford that. No. Is that what they call them? Yeah, it's like, folks that run, they run Reckoner, healing businesses. Well, there's folks that do doll sick houses, they call them, but it's about the same thing. Why are we talking about that for? I don't know, just something to talk about. Just something to talk about. Oh, stop touching me. I don't mean to do that. Well, right now it looks like we only got right now it looks like, we have we got 5 followers, 2 thumbs up. Well, Jordan, I guess I'm going to have to let you go. I got to go do something, Jade said. All right. Well, that was Jade, my younger sister, on there, But so anyway, yeah. It looks like I'm not going to get any more followers on here than I thought I am. But let's just see what we got written here. What does edit do? What does this do? Oh, it just lets me go on and, put all the stuff on while my YouTube live stream's going on. I understand that now. Tag. Oh, let's just F it. I could just say YouTube live stream. I don't know what the tag to put in. And the truth is, tags don't work. They say that word will work if you misspell something on the name of your film. You put the right spelling in your tag, it'll bring it up. But it doesn't work for me. So there you go. I did that, and I didn't have to end the film to do it. Which at the end of the day is a really good tool there. So there you go. Well, I guess I'm getting to the end of my YouTube live stream because no one else seems to be coming on to say anything. This is how you know you're truly boring. I shouldn't say that shit. That's what my haters would want me to believe. My haters would say, well, you only had 5 followers. You only had 3 thumbs up. And no one's saying nothing anymore. And I would say, if I'm so boring and you don't like my films, why were you watching them in the first stead? Is what I would say about the haters. But the way they behave is not. The way they behave is like so sad and so misunderstanding. And so you can't understand them. But anyway, it is what it is. And these days, I don't really care what my haters think or what they believe. If I did that, I wouldn't be on YouTube at all. If I cared about what their thought and belief of me is, Well, now you can tell that. So, anyway, I guess I could make it go longer. I don't know. Yeah, well, let's just read what I do got here at the time. Yeah, and that seems to be it of what anyone's saying, but oh, it's still going on. So, yeah. Uh, I got one of these things once. You know? Oh, no. So I got this, the fake shit. But I don't know what to do with it. Okay, I got this. And my Yule stocking, I don't know what to do with it. And I know you're thinking, well, Jordan, you can always do some kind of thing in one of your films with it. But, yeah, I don't know. I truly don't. Oh, this back's coming off. Yeah, and knowing my god sister Gabrielle, she'll probably end up doing some kind of stunt and lark to my godmother Xena, to my godmother Xena, and then that's where we'll probably end up going. So yeah, looks like that is all the time I have. Wow. I want to thank everyone who came on this YouTube live stream. I know in my mind, I think I can make them go longer, but like I'm running out of things to talk about, which is sad, And let's get back into that, but, yeah. So, well, why are we at? Anyway, so talking about, me. Sad to clear my throat. There we go again. So some folks out there, they like to go all the, they like to go shift their films out. They like to make it brighter, darker, put some kind of outstanding drawings or whatever on it. They like to cut things out and put things in. And then they behave like everyone needs to do that. Well, not everyone needs to do it, and not everyone has the skill to run those tools. Because let's just be earnest with them. All those tools, I don't care what their names are, they're all too hard to work with, and they really don't do as good as everyone says they do. Oh, you may, it's like, all right, it's nothing outstanding, you know. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. All right, I guess that's all I got to talk about. Thank you all for coming on my YouTube live stream. Forgive me if I was boring, which I don't believe I was. But if I was boring, forgive me for it. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you all later.